This stuff gets on me so easy. How? How'd it get on here? Whoa, look at that girl's clothes. Is that a Gucci belt? That's expensive. I bet she's important. Probably one of those new university grads. Oh shit, I'm covered in this filth. I probably look like crap. I mean, especially compared to her. Wait, was she laughing at me? Geez, that's a bit cold. She probably saw what a mess I am and thinks I'm a loser. I mean, maybe I am a loser. Just look at me. She's so well dressed and important. Meanwhile, I'm down here on the floor doing a job for chumps, scrubbing away, covered in dirt. Maybe she's right.
What we're trying to show here is Cooley's concept of looking glass self. Looking glass self is the idea that we have certain imaginations in our head of what we look like to other people. We have some kind of positive or negative feeling about this image and define ourselves by this imagination.
So basically, how we see ourselves is based on how we think others see us, even if that's not actually what the other person was thinking.
In our video, you can see the three principal elements of looking glass self. The first element is an imagination of our appearance to another person.
So the cleaner is just doing his job, but when he sees the office worker, he starts comparing their appearances.
The second element is how we think others might judge us based on this appearance.
So upon realizing he looks bad compared to her, he thinks she's probably looking down on him, judging him for his scruffy appearance, and in his mind, her laugh only confirms this.
The third element is how, based on this judgment, we revise how we feel about ourselves.
In this case, the cleaner feels a sense of shame, and he defines himself in light of this negative feeling. He calls himself a loser.
Related to this concept of looking glass self is Cooley's idea of social consciousness. So Cooley goes even further to say that not only do we define ourselves in a social sense, but all of our thoughts are necessarily social. Try and think of something that has no connection to the social world. You really can't.
That's because, for Cooley, the social world informs the meaning we give things. The cleaner only really feels bad about his job because he thinks about it in a social sense. He thinks about how he fits into the social hierarchy, how his position is considered low status, and his messy appearance is considered undesirable in the social world. If it wasn't for these sort of ascribed social meanings, he probably wouldn't think much about being a cleaner. It's just his job. But because of these social meanings, he does feel bad.
But just because we have these social thoughts doesn't mean they're accurate. Who knows what the cleaner was laughing at? Maybe it was a funny text. But because the cleaner had an imagination, whether it was accurate or not, he redefined himself.
So for looking glass self, what we're trying to hammer home is that it is a perception. It doesn't matter what the truth is. We can never really know what the truth is. It is not objectively how they feel about us, just how we think they do.
So, according to Cooley, the individual and the social are inseparable, and looking glass self feeds into this. We make social comparisons that determine how we feel about ourselves. We cannot define ourselves separately from the social.
Hopefully this has helped you wrap your head around some of the ideas put forth by Cooley. They're a bit complex, but if you think about them with a simple example, like the cleaner and the office worker, it can show you how ideas like looking glass self and social consciousness show up in our everyday lives.